Hey guys, this is Patrick from STH, and today we're going to look at the Tyan web management interface. Specifically, we're going to look at the newer interface on a platform that we're testing in the lab, which is the Tyan Transport SX TS65A-B8036, which is a really long mouthful, but basically what that is that is a 2U single socket AMD EPYC 7002 ROM series server that has a really great mix of both storage and expansion options. We're going to have to review that soon, but we wanted to take the opportunity to kind of look at the management interface for Tyan because a lot has changed. We haven't looked at these interfaces since 2017 really, and it's been a long time, so we want to kind of look at what's available. So first, starting with the login screen, we're going to tell you the default username and password. Default username is root. Password is superuser, all lowercase. We sign ourselves in, and here comes the interface. Now you're going to see that this is actually the Megarack SPX interface. Tyan has done a lot to go and badge and put their own kind of flavor on this interface, but this is a pretty industry standard interface for this generation of servers. And you're going to see you have a little dashboard here. We actually really like the fact that there aren't a ton of sensor readings. Some vendors have a lot of sensors on their dashboard, but with SPX that actually takes a long time to load. So this gets you right in and loaded very quickly, which is really nice. If you do want to see those sensors, you just click here on sensor reading, and lo and behold, you get a whole bunch of different sensors that tell you a little bit about, voltages, that tell you temperatures, fan speeds, you name it, that's there. You can also go to system inventory and see what's there. You can see that we have the AMD EPYC 7702 64-core processor which is really cool. 64 cores, 128 threads in a single socket. You can also see that we have Micron 32 gig, 3200 megahertz DDR4 DIMMs installed, and we have a total of 256 gigs of RAM. It's really easy to see. We can get the FRU information, and we actually have filled out information, which a lot of times when we get servers, we don't have that, but you can see, things like the serial numbers of the server, which is important if you're doing asset tracking. There's also event logs, so you can see some of the things that have happened in terms of logging in with IPMI. Now, settings, this is actually really pretty nice. You can do things such as you can go in and have external directory services for your users. You can configure the network, such as DNS settings. So there's a lot of stuff there that you can set. You can have firewalls. You should never put your IPMI management NIC to the internet. That's like literally remote management 101. So don't ever do that. But you could do a firewall and put a little firewall on here if you need to. You could do user management. So you can see that we have the root user, which we use to log in, but we also have another user that we just set up just to kind of show you, which is the STH admin user. And it's really pretty easy to kind of go and click through these and just add different users. When we go click to remote control, we have two different options. We still have the legacy Java KVM, and we have the HTML5 KVM. So when we look at the HTML5 IKVM, you can see this is a pretty standard SPX style interface. One of the features that Tyan doesn't have in this particular build is the ability to do remote ISO image and image mounting, so media mounting from this HTML5 window. That is actually a feature that you do see still in the old Java version, but it hasn't been ported to the HTML5 version yet. So something that we kind of expect will happen in the future, but it's just kind of where we are. And if you're using HTML5, you can do things like, add remote media through this redirection feature. So that's just one item you can do. The other feature that you have is power control on the host server. So you see you have on off, you can do hard resets, power cycles. The one feature that we really would love to see is the feature to reset and reboot into BIOS. That's something that you see on Dell and HPE servers and Lenovo, but you don't necessarily see on things like Supermicro servers, and Tyan doesn't have that feature yet, but something that we'd like to see in the future. You can also blink the ID lights if you need to. So if you're talking to someone on the phone and they're standing in the data center trying to pull a problematic drive or just find a server for some reason, or if you just need to go find a server, and walk in and out of a cold aisle, this is a good way to do that. This is kind of a weirdly labeled thing, which is set front panel enables. I don't really know why, but that is not really great wording, but still that's fine. You can actually lock and unlock the front panel from there. And then maintenance, you have the ability to do a couple really cool things here. You can do the firmware updates, which is not just the BMC firmware, but you can also flash the BIOS firmware, which is really cool. It's something that, just kind of giving you an idea, Supermicro charges an extra $20 for the license that allows you to do this via the web management interface. So that's something that you get with Tyan that Supermicro just doesn't have at this point. You also have a couple features here, such as you can see the BIOS and firmware information, and you'll see the last one is sign out. We don't want to actually click that because there's this little feature right here which says BIOS, and we clicked that and this screen came up and it gave us a prompt for another username and password. We tried root superuser and that didn't work. Instead, what did work was we used the Redfish login for this, which is administrator with a capital A and superuser as the password. And that got us through the login step, but we haven't been able to do things. So the Tyan management suite also includes industry standard IPMI, but also Redfish management features. And so we think this is going to end up being a feature that Tyan allows you to go and tweak BIOS settings from the web interface, which would be really cool. It's just, it didn't work on Chrome. We tried it on Microsoft Edge and it's not working right now. So looks like it's something that is a plug for something in the future that we just haven't been able to see yet. So hopefully they do fix this, or I guess enhance this is probably the better way to say it, but something that we're looking to in the future. Overall, we think this is a great upgrade to the previous version that we saw of SPX and even the older versions of Tyan management interfaces. This is much more modern. It looks really good. And we're going to keep this video around just to embed because vendors tend to use the same management suite on different server models. And so we just kind of want to have this one to be able to embed and show off whenever we do a server review for Tyan. Thanks for watching. You can check out more from our awesome STH team on the STH main site. We have other videos on YouTube, and you can always subscribe to our channel and see whatever is coming out next.